People came to Jesus and asked, "John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees fast, but why not yours?" And I wonder whether these people who came to Jesus knew about the purpose of fasting. They have heard, they have been doing, or they have seen others, and they know that one needs to fast. And their question is, why your disciples are not doing that? We will have different other things that we are doing that's happening in our lives. But if the purpose is forgotten, we may not get it. We may not get the right benefits. Jesus in fact tells them when they will fast, meaning to say why exactly they will fast and when. Now many of us would know why we do the fasting, why we abstain from something or of certain food. But lots and lots of us would not know what's the purpose of fasting. And that is where we can feel lost and the purpose is defeated, because we know that the rule is there, we know that we need to do, but why? It's forgotten, or we do not make effort to know, understand, or no one has made us aware. For all the spiritualities, we know there's some type of fasting abstinence involved. And this spiritual fasting may not be to maintain our figure for men and women. It may not be for health and beauty. No doubt these effects will come. But our purpose in fasting, and more so the spiritual fast, is to draw our focus back to the spiritual, on God, to fix our eyes on the preferences of the spiritual. It's not to classify and say that the world is bad or all the other things that we do are bad, but it's to give preferences in our lives, that we have something what is spiritual, godly, and rest everything follows based on these godly or spiritual principles. So everything else in life take its shape based on this spiritual principle or based on this spirituality. Fasting activates once again if our spiritual part of life is gone dormant. Now keeping this fast aside, but applying that same principle to all the other things that we do. We work, we go through different activities, but if we don't know the purpose right in our mind, at that particular moment, we can just get used to. We may had the purpose right when we started our work, or when we were looking for the job, when we started an activity, but later it gets off from our mind. It is there in our subconscious mind that we work because of our children, we work because of our spouses, we work for the sake of our friends, for the sake of our parents, or we work because of our studies, or we do it for God and in response to all that He has done for us. So there are different intentions. But when these intentions or these purposes get into our subconscious mind, our life may not be that exciting. We need to get it in our conscious mind. We need to remind us what's the purpose of what we are doing, or why we are doing what we are doing, why exactly we are working. And when we have this alive in our minds, the whole life can be different. Our daily activities and daily chores can be filled with life. And the same is with fasting. Fasting is very helpful to put our life in order, to get our preferences right, to be close into something what is godly, to be close to something what is spiritual, or to make ourselves spiritual, and to have those enriching moments in our lives. So each time, let us make ourselves aware. Tell ourselves why we are doing, what's the purpose of this, so that we may benefit more in what we are doing.